Hello, my friends. Welcome to part 7, I think, of this real-time leopard drawing. So it's very nice to have you here. I really appreciate every one of you who sticks through, hangs out with me for the multiple hours that it takes to create a piece like this. But yeah, so it would be really cool if we could all sit in the same room and work on it together, but we can't. So this is going to have to do instead of that. Okay, so the body of the leopard is not going to be the most fun that we've done so far. I think that it may get a little repetitive, but it's got to get done, right? We gotta do it to finish the piece. So I'm looking at the reference photo, and I'm also looking at the actual image on my iPad. And there's a teeny bit more definition in the fur on the photo as opposed to what printed out on my reference photo. But for the most part, everything is kind of blurry. It's out of focus. I mean, obviously you can, if you have the image printed, you can see that this is all really soft focus. So I don't know how I'm going to handle that yet. We will just have to see. So I'm just going to go on as I have been, and we will see how it turns out. I should have done this before. I didn't. So I think I'm going to pull out my buff titanium, my brown ochre 10%. I don't think I will need white. I will need my burnt umber in Polychromos. And I will probably need either, if I can find them, I will use the brown ochre 50% and maybe also the brown ochre. It just kind of depends on, yeah, I probably will. I'm looking at it now thinking, yeah, you're going to need that darker color. There it is. Okay. So, I might use white when I get down to the very bottom of his chest, but we're going to start up here and work down. So I'm going to cover up my work so my hand doesn't smudge. And I think I'm just gonna go. I do want to sharpen this, so hold your ears. Let's see if I can put this in a place where it won't be quite as loud. Is there anything else I want to sharpen? No, everything else looks pretty good. Okay, so let's just, I think it's just going to be a matter of starting. I want it all to look very soft, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the spaces between the spots with, how do I describe this? When I want the hairs to show, I press down pretty firmly and I make pretty good strong marks. Just zoom in here a little bit. I don't want to come in too far. Let's see, I can scoot this over a bit too, right? Right, okay. So when I want the hairs to show, I make pretty strong marks. I know you probably can't see that very well. Or maybe you can, I don't hard to tell. What I want to do now, because all of this is pretty soft and fuzzy looking, I'm gonna hold my pencil a little further back, and I'm going to let the pencil make the stroke. So it's a very loose, fluffy motion with the pencil. When you hold it back really far, you don't have a lot of precise control. So when you're just making those marks and you are coming down and lifting, your strokes kind of go every which way, but still all going in the same direction. And I feel like what that does for me is it's going to give us a fluffier, more blended look. So I'm just going to do this for a little ways here, and then I'm going to test my theory. It's okay if you kind of go into the black, because we'll be able to cover it up just fine. Okay, so there's my brown ochre 10%. Now I'm going to take brown ochre 50%, and I'm going to do the same thing. Be a little careful at the top, because you don't want to go, you know, flying off the edge of your drawing. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and add the black, just so that I can confirm that that's going to give me the look that I want. So let's just do that. I'm going to use the Luminance black, because I had pretty good luck using that before, if I can find it. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and fill in our little horseshoe spot. It's weird how when I start doing this, somehow the shape of these spots changed so drastically from the reference photo, and I don't know what I'm doing that's making them change shape so drastically, but sometimes I look at them and go, what did I do there? I have no idea. All right, this is funny looking. I thought that was a line from underneath, but it's still there even after I erased. So I'm just going to fix it. It's not exactly right. And actually, he should come down. The spot should come down closer to the ear. We'll go with that. It's not perfect, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. I do find I push down a lot harder when I'm using the black because I want to get it black right away. And I can feel my hand getting tired. It's like, why are you doing that to yourself? Just go a little bit lighter. You don't have to push down hard on drafting film. It'll get dark. Okay, I don't know what this weird shape is that I did here. This is supposed to come up here. Weird. Probably filling in the black for me is the least fun part, because it's just, yeah, it's just kind of boring, but again, weird shape changes. I don't know. So remember to always kind of look at your reference photo if you're trying to get it to be exact. Don't rely on your art. Okay, you know, your line art, reference sketch. Okay, so we definitely need to go darker. So now I'm going to use the burnt umber Polychromos. Remember to try and keep those strokes short because the hair here is not long. But I'm basically going to do the same thing where I'm just kind of softly lifting up. I don't even know if this is soft enough. I'm almost kind of feeling like you can still see too much of the strokes. Okay, so this is actually working better. I'm not doing this. I am just glazing over the top of everything. And it's actually looking a little bit more like what the actual photo looks like. I will put a little bit of more dark in here. And I'm doing it splotchy because it looks, you know, kind of dotty. And this needs to be darker. So I'm not lifting up my pencil. I'm just glazing the color in over the top with like little circles. And that seems to do the job. Yep. I do like the technique that I used though, so I'll probably just keep going with that. So it's pretty much It's pretty much going to be what I'm going to do for this whole thing. So I might go ahead and just do it and speed through it, do a little speed coloring on this, because I'll be doing the exact same technique that I did right here for at least you know, the main portion of the body. So I will again talk to you in a little bit. Okay, so I was thinking that because I might need to push this down a little bit here. Let's just go down. I was thinking that because this area was quite a bit darker, that maybe I wouldn't do the brown ochre 10% down in here, and I would just go for this 50%. But I'm still not sure if that's right. So I'll keep on focusing on, let's just go back to this top section. I'll do that, and then I'll continue on to decide about this, because I want to make sure that I get it dark enough. I think that that's important. Again, it's one of those things that sometimes I don't do well enough. I don't get it dark enough. And I want to make sure that I do. So I'll start here. And it seems to be working here to not do the flicking. Because again, this whole area is pretty much out of focus and blurry. So I think just Going over everything like this is going to be just fine. I don't know why I'm feeling the need to put my arm up like that. Okay. I'm kind of thinking that, oops, gotta be careful, boy. I tell you, this drafting film, you make marks on it really, really easy if you're not careful. I'm thinking that I can probably do the black next, and then this burnt umber. That seems to work pretty well. So again, I'm just gonna speed through this, putting the black in, and I'll be back in just a flash. Okay, so on to the next, which I think will be the burnt umber. And again, I'm thinking, since all of this really is quite dark, I'm thinking that I'm going to use it like I have been using, where I'm going on either side of the black. Maybe not quite so much up here, because this is a little bit lighter. I mean, yes, around the outer edges, that I still want to do. It's going to be interesting to see if I can get this looking out of focus enough. I'm not quite sure how to do that. I'm wondering if I take my Polychromos. I'm going to push this up just a little bit because I feel like I might be out of. If I use this on the outer edges, if that will help. I think I'll do that at the very end. So I'm going to keep going with my burnt umber. Why do I keep wanting to put my hand up there like that? I'm trying to figure out why that is. I don't know why. This is this position is still fairly new to me. You know, working on an easel as opposed to flat. But I'm pretty sure that it's better for my neck and my back, because I'm sitting more upright and straight, and my head does not have to point down. So I still think I like it better than working on a flat surface. But every once in a while I feel like I have to put my arm in a weird position, and really I don't. It's just something I'm getting used to is all. Okay, so all of this in here is pretty dark. So rather than trying to make it really dark on the first go, I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing and do extra layers to make it darker. I don't want to push any harder to make it darker because I want it to be soft. What else do I want to do here for you guys? I want to push this over a little bit. You still have to really be aware that you're going in the direction of the fur, because if you start getting distracted, it's really easy to all of a sudden find yourself going the wrong way, and it shows. You can look at it and know that that's not right. So even though you're not making flick, flick, flick strokes, you still have to make sure that the hair direction is right. And if you push too hard, you're going to see the strokes. You're going to see whatever marks you're making on that paper, instead of it being real soft and subtle. And that's not good either. I've done that before. Okay, I still kind of want to work in this area before I move down. So I'm just going to keep adding layers of this burnt umber Polychromos. Like in here, this is really supposed to be dark. And if we have to, we can go on the back. If I can't get it dark enough, doing it this way. Because we will get to the point where we start running out of tooth if we're not, you know, I'd say if we're not careful, but you could still be careful and still get to a point where you're like, okay, the film just does not want to take any more pencil. I'm kind of combining my strokes. I'm combining going soft and not pulling my pencil off the paper. But every once in a while I feel the desire to put some subtle hair marks in there as well. So you can vary your strokes a little bit. Did. Oh, I hate it when I do that. It's because I was holding my pencil in my hand. Bad girl. All right, so let's try. It was a pretty heavy mark because it was a pretty heavy mark. So all right, yay. Took it right off. So don't hold your pencil in your hand. Bad mistake. Okay, I kind of feel like this is too defined, too many strokes. So I'm going to take my brown ochre luminance. Let's see if I can just kind of soften that a little bit. I actually kind of like that. Now this area right here is lighter. That's this right here. I wonder. I'm looking for my eraser. Yeah, I think that'll work. So any areas that I feel like I want lighter, I'll just pull out with the Tombow. Okay, I'm going to add some more of this up here because I like it. Not too much though, because again, it's supposed to be a little bit lighter up there. I think that's okay. Let's do some more of it back here. And all in here is really, really dark. So the question then becomes, how do I achieve that? So I put right here, I did the brown ochre 50%. So now if I come in with this burnt umber, careful, want to keep it fluffy. So gotta try and not make those strokes too sharp. I don't think I'm gonna like it. I don't think it's gonna get me where I want to be yet. We might need to add some black or some dark sepia. Dark sepia. In fact, let's do that before I start working down here. Let's just keep at it up here. Okay, so I'm going to add some black. It actually doesn't really have, it doesn't have hair lines off of it, so I don't want to do that. I just want to, nope, not black. Okay, I'm changing my mind because I just said dark sepia. Don't know why I didn't pick that one up. I'm going to use the dark sepia to soften these edges. going to go in little, I think, circular strokes, occasionally pulling it out with a line. Let's try it here. One of the things I struggle with is out of focus pictures. And a lot of the times the pictures that I really want to do, you know, have a sharp focus face and then it goes to out of focus body. I find those really a challenge. So those are the things that I have to try and concentrate on doing. Kind of like I just did an owl. And he came out, in the end, he came out really good. And I'm really happy with how he turned out. But every time I do something where I'm not doing an animal, where I'm adding other elements to it, I realize how woefully out of practice I am with doing things other than the main subject. And I want to be well-rounded. I want to be able to do a lot of different things. And so I'm forcing myself, or trying to force myself, instead of shying away from those things because I don't feel like I do them as well as something else. I want to try and practice on those things that I'm not as comfortable with. And it can be hard because you want to, you know, do stuff that you're good at. You want to play and have fun. And I still do that, but I need to, like, I want my next thing to be like something with more, with some flowers in it or something. Because I never feel like those are as good. And I want to get better, so there's my little confession. All right, I'm feeling like this is pretty good. Feels right. Still doesn't feel as dark as it should be in certain areas, though, so I guess I better keep working. This area in particular feels like it really needs to be much darker. I'm so far away from being dark enough. Every time I sit back and go, okay, how am I doing? It's like, oh my goodness, it still needs to be so much darker. And I still have plenty of tooth here on the front, so I don't think I'm going to resort to working the back quite yet. Getting better though. Part of me wants to bring that warmer color back in again. I to figure out how I'm going to do this. What colors am I going to use? That's a lot of dark. And that's black. Fill that in right now. Just don't know what to do. I don't want it to be too, you know, dull. I don't want it to be too dull, so. Again, it's like I look at that little dot and it's all soft and out of focus, and I look at mine and it's all, you know, harsh. I don't know how to fix that. Just this is the dark sepia. I'm afraid if I use black, it'll stay being too harsh. Whereas because the dark sepia is more brown, it'll kind of soften the, split the difference and soften it a little bit. All right, I'm not unhappy with what we've got up here. I still think every time I look in the viewfinder of my camera, it becomes like painfully obvious that it still needs to be darker. It doesn't show up quite as much in person though, so maybe I'm stressing about it for nothing. But no, it definitely does need to be darker. I might have to resort to using the back, but we'll see. We're not there yet. I'm gonna come down here. I need to tackle and figure out what colors I'm gonna use for that. I'm just wondering if it just needs to be, I'm thinking I'm gonna put the black dots in first, because it doesn't really matter if we pull some of that black into the rest of it. It won't matter at all. And it actually might be a good thing, and that's gonna help me kind of figure out stuff. I do want to make a little mark on here so I don't get carried away. So right in here is kind of where right in here is where the light colors start. This is all light. Am I out of frame? Yes, I am. Sorry. Okay, what's happening here? Yeah, I was out of frame. Okay, so all of this here, and I'm still going to be out of frame a little bit, but I'm just marking my spot real quick where the light color is going to be, so I don't go crazy in there. Okay. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is pull this up a little bit. It's amazing how much that pencil gets dull with light. Sorry, just trying to find that happy place where the light, where it's not gonna. Oh my goodness. this. I don't like it when the light washes out the colored pencil. It's just a weird thing that I have. It doesn't do it for me in person. It only does it on the screen. Okay, I do want to get some of this on here. And that's all blend. I don't know how to do this. Okay. I'm gonna pull my big girl pants on and figure it out. It's like, what's the worst that could happen? We have to crop our head down really small. No, I don't want to do that. This is like a companion piece for the tiger, and I have a place for it on my wall where I want to hang them together, so I can't mess it up. Okay, why am I using the Polychromos black? Boy, is there a shine from that from the Luminance black. It really shows up shiny. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's going to get framed behind glass, so I don't know why I should care. But because I'm using the black first, I'm going to use the Polychromos because it does seem to not bleed. Bleed's not the right word. Smudge less. It does seem to do that less than the Luminance. So let's just, even if they're not totally black, even if I have to come back in and make them blacker, I think that's okay. I do feel like this is going to be a boring part again though, so I'm going to double time it a little bit and come back when I have something something to say. Okay, so I'm a little, not nervous, but this area here is freaking me out a little bit. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to work down here for a little while and we'll see how far we get. I am going to push this in a little bit because it's kind of in my way, to be honest. And you can still see, so that's a little bit better. Okay. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so I've got brown ochre luminance. I have to fix my lights. Sorry guys, we might just have to be like faded out for a little while because I kind of do need to see. All right, I'm going to start with the brown ochre. I've also got the burnt umber Polychromos. And I'm winging it. So don't follow along. If you are following along without watching this video, because I don't know what's going to happen yet. I want to put a little bit more white right here on the edge. All right, so this is the brown ochre. And I am not making strong marks, but I am going in the direction of the fur. But you can see, I mean, I can look how much of the, so I guess I was wrong about the Polychromos not smudging. But I think it's because I'm using a luminance, and the luminance really seem to pull those dark colors. I don't think it's going to matter in here. Because it is, I do specifically want it to be darker, and having some of the black pull out, I don't think is going to hurt. I think it's going to be fine. And I'm going to work a smallish area at a time, maybe. It's really pulling. So that's why I don't put black on first. But again, I don't think it's going to matter in here because we're going to throw a whole bunch of dark colors on top of this anyway. So I'm not going to worry about it. I think it's going to maybe even aid in the blurry look, the blurry effect that we want. So really, okay, it really does. Let's just do a little bit more. This camera is right in my face. I can't see very well what I'm doing. fix that. I don't think I can. I am gonna scoot it over a little bit because really, this is the only area you really need to see. So that helps me because now I can see a little bit too. All right, I'm going to, really quick, I'm gonna fix the angle of this camera because I think the angle is off a little bit. That's a little bit better. All right, I'm gonna take my burnt umber. I think it just needs no hairs, just kind of a nice steady lay down of the color. Because really it's quite dark and I'm nowhere near dark enough yet. You don't see hairs. It's all just kind of blurry, so that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I think I'm gonna break out the dark sepia. And we'll use that. You can go right over the black. I'm not sure how I feel about this yet. Especially in here where it starts to blend with the lighter color. I just don't. Not sure what colors to use for this. I didn't put any black in here yet. I'm afraid to do that until after the end because I don't want it to smudge too much in with the This doesn't feel too bad. Maybe I'll just keep working this area and then we'll do this last bit on the next video. I'm not sure. I know this still needs a lot more dark. Okay, I've switched to really little teeny tiny circles. Still looks so bright on the camera, at least in the viewfinder that I'm looking at. It still looks really too bright. This is probably, well, it is for sure going to get all put behind my frame, so it doesn't really probably matter. That's the brown ochre. All right, I'm feeling not too shabby about this. This is even helping to kind of blend and smooth things down a little bit too. Kind of, maybe it's my imagination, but it feels like it's softening the black a little bit too. I am going to have to darken those, but I don't want to undo it yet. Okay, I'm gonna pull out a little bit so we can see it. Sometimes it helps to see it more in its entirety because then it makes it kind of more obvious as to where the dark colors need to come in more. And I still think it needs more. I'm afraid to use black though, but I might just have to. So my pencil is kind of too sharp. I wonder if the black Luminance would work better. I don't want hair marks per se. I want it just to glaze over and get a little bit darker. I kind of like how the Luminance feels. And the two different pencils definitely feel different on the paper, on the drafting film. So you really have to use a light touch. Some of my spots I think are not big enough. So there's a lot of space between things that maybe there shouldn't be quite as much space for. Maybe I'll try and make some of these a little bit bigger. I keep making the mistake of using hard lines or heavy pressure, and what I really need is super, super soft pressure to keep it really soft and out of focus, which I'm not doing very well. I just blend that with the brown ochre. That helped a little. Now that helped quite a bit, actually. Okay, let's just put a little. I'm barely touching the paper. It is darkening it though. I think the darkest part probably is going to be right in here, so maybe I won't try and go too much darker up here because I want there to be, I want it to gradually get darker as it comes down. Okay, I'm really curious about what I'm going to do here. What am I going to do there? Okay, let's try something darker than the buff titanium. Let's do the brown ochre 10%. Let me just start. It's not quite yellow enough, is it? it's a little too creamy. This is a little bit more yellow. The hard part is going to be mixing the light with the black. That to me is going to be our biggest challenge. Okay, this is the Polychromos Ivory. Oh, it's making me nervous. Okay, so if I blend that with the Polychromos black, I get kind of a gray. I'm going right over what I did with the Luminance. I don't think it makes much difference. But I kind of do need to get this blacker. But I need to get this filled in first. So I'm going to fill this in with this ivory. Then we'll go over it. Okay, I'm going to go lightly, just a little bit in here. Are you? Yes, okay. All right. I'm going to add some cream. Okay, so a little bit of cream. Dark sepia. It's just kind of going to be a matter of blending. Using brown, I think, to blend the cream and the black. Okay, so we've got a little bit of, I want to put an edge, which okay. We need to get that smoother and darker out here. So I don't know why I just all of a sudden got the urge to work on the part that scares me the most right before the end of the video. I don't know why, but I'm not going to do that part yet. We'll get to that. Okay, so more dark sepia. I think the brown ochre will be too warm. This is the brown ochre. Sorry, burnt umber, not brown ochre. burnt umber is going to be too warm. We got to get these blended. All right, let's try the cream again. And then we'll put the black. I don't know if I like, well, I don't know. This is not. All right, I'm gonna put those black. I'm gonna put the black in. And actually, it's not really black. It kind of is more gray, really. Wonder if I should switch to a gray. Nah. This is hard. just saying. I don't know. I'm wondering what will happen if I use a blender. Maybe a stump. Ooh, maybe a paper stump. Okay, let's try that. Do I have one that doesn't have stuff all over it? This one might be okay. Paper stump. No, it kind of, it's not doing much. Although it is kind of taking that black and turning it to gray and fuzzing it out a little bit. And we need to get some dark. Oh, I guess that's what that is. Where's the edge of my... I think it should go up here. I'm not sure what this is down here. I don't know what that is. I don't love this. I want it to be awesome. So I'm just going to, you're just going to have to bear with me till I work this out. This is brown ochre. It's not terrible. And I think once I get the dark color on this side of it, it'll be okay. But this still, even though when I look at it here, there's really not a lot of variation of color, it still feels like it really needs work. Dark sepia. Let's blend this out a little bit with dark sepia. Oh, part of me is wondering if I do want to bring that burnt umber in here. This is all black or dark. This. I think I'm going to pull Burnt Umber. I'm going very, very, very lightly. We'll do some ivory. More Burnt Umber. The trick is to get this all kind of nice and blended and soft. That's tiny little, really light circles. Not terrible. Good grief, Coop, you just scared the heck out of me. It's so quiet. It's so quiet in here, and then he barks. Okay, I don't mind this so much. That will work on some more. This is getting there. There's just something about... Okay, I'm going to go very lightly with this light yellow ochre. It might be the completely wrong thing, so I'll know as I do it. So far, I like it. Not too much. Not too much. Cream. Just kind of trying to blend that a little bit more. I think that might work. We get these light colors down in here, I might be okay with this. It's starting to feel okay. Yep, it's starting to feel okay. But I do think there's quite a lot to do in here. So that, I think, will be the next video. Yes, that will be the next video. I've got some marks to erase on the back side here. But I think that looks okay. Yep, I'm at a spot where I feel like I can stop and actually sleep. So I guess that's a good spot to stop. Alrighty, we should be able to finish this up in one more video. That will make 8. I think that is the longest series that we've done so far on this channel. Okay, so that will be it for now until I see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Bye.